CES 2025, Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's check this out. Dave Taylor here in Las Vegas, Nevada for CES 2025. I have my badge, I have my backpack, I have good walking shoes. I'm ready. Now, walking shoes, yes, this is an enormous trade show with 140,000 attendees and almost 5,000 different companies exhibiting, from tiny little guys you've never heard of and might never hear of again, to enormous companies like Sony and Honda and LG, where their booth, their exhibit space is larger than the auditorium at most high schools. This is just ridiculous. It's so big. It's also so loud and so crowded that it's almost impossible to film on the show floor. So I'm going to narrate some of the best stuff I saw, and then I'll jump on at the end and give you some closing ideas and thoughts. Let's go. Before you even get to the convention center, there are massive outdoor signs, as you can see. And our first product is the Ropet. This is just a little tiny AI-powered toy that looks at you and interacts with you, and it was a big hit. People like these things. This spoon uses very low-powered electricity to fake your taste buds into thinking you're eating more salt than you are. So for people that like really salty food, they could actually be healthy and eat less salt. Extremely ingenious idea. Speaking of ideas, there are now smart cat litter boxes that are kind of ridiculously over-engineered. I'm not sure my cat would ever get in this, but it does use AI facial recognition. It can even analyze their droppings as they go to the bathroom in the litter box, which is quite fascinating. Robot vacuum cleaners are a big hit this year, and this is the Eureka, and you can see that it's a pretty aggressive mop approach. More AI, this is a barbecue smoker. So this is for making brisket and other smoked meats, and the AI helps you make sure you always get great results. While in previous years, Hello Kitty has been the belle of the ball, as it were, this year it was all about Barbie. So obviously that hit movie has inspired a lot of manufacturers like Kodak with this upcoming Barbie camera. One of my favorite inventions that I saw at CES 2025 was this smart kitchen stove knob. You put this on instead of your existing knobs, and your stove becomes smarter and safer. So for example, it can say it's been on for 5 minutes, that's long enough, I'm going to turn it off. And you can even adjust it using the app on your phone. Really interesting, particularly for seniors who are living at home and have children who might be concerned about their safety when they're cooking. I took a minute off to go into Caesar's Forum shops just to take this picture, just so you can see I was really there in Las Vegas. And this, believe it or not, is an EMF therapy bed for pets. So it will help them heal and help them feel better. This is a sensor that fits in a hard hat and lets supervisors monitor the alertness and health of all of the people on a construction site, which can significantly drop construction accidents. A watch with ChatGPT. The little tiny Chinese company were a bit coy about how they got that to work, but it's an interesting idea. This is the Jizai Mimo robot, and it actually can walk around. What its purpose is was not clear to me, but it's certainly an interesting demo. One of the better uses of AI was the Skeeper R1 AI stethoscope, which can help doctors and nurses diagnose any issues as heard by the stethoscope. A number of companies introduced robot vacuums that included arms for reasons I cannot fully understand. This one can actually pick up socks and move them out of the way, and even has 2 cameras so it has stereo vision on the front. This might be a little overkill in the robot vacuum department. This is an automatic tortilla making machine. You add flour and water and oil, and it does everything else from mixing the batter to kneading the batter, flattening it, putting it into the oven area, and cooking it. On the plate are completed tortillas. They were not offering samples, so I can't tell you how it tastes. There are always robot baristas because apparently people want to have robots make their lattes and cappuccinos, and this is the Artly robot barista. How about this tiny little thing you can attach to your clothes that is a phone cam? It's a live streaming device that pairs with your phone. Not yet shipping, but coming soon. This baby carrier from Evenflow has a built-in light system that you can set to help soothe your anxious or crying or upset baby. And it's a really interesting idea, and I think there are going to be a lot of people picking one of these up. Ever wish you had a drone you could sit in? That's what this is from Manta Air. It's a really big drone that's also a single passenger aircraft. They were not flying it around in the trade show. Brunswick introduced this really remarkable self-piloting boat. It's a whole navigation system, and that rectangle on the left side actually is from a sensor and camera system underneath the boat, obviously simulated, that will show you what you're going over at the moment. And if you're in very shallow water, it takes over the piloting, which is a pretty cool idea. You can't buy one of these in the United States yet, but this is a Way electric SUV, and the design was just extraordinary. They have put a lot of effort into making this the smoothest and quietest ride possible. They weren't offering rides, but it was sure comfortable to sit in. Honda introduced 2 electric vehicles that were prototypes. This is the Honda Zero Saloon, and this is the Honda Zero SUV. And they were both pretty amazing designs. Not necessarily what they'll ship, but certainly really nice prototypes. Ready to take your child for a walk? Well, what if you take your child for a walk by sitting on a suitcase that can drive around? That's the idea of this little company. And mostly I was just amused by the fact that on its banner for this product, they said that it's how you can take your child for a walk, and I just scratched my head there trying to figure out how that works. I know you're looking at this and saying, what the heck? So this is an EV that has a plane in the back. So you can push some buttons and it will push out this enormous, basically air taxi type device, and then you can spin up the props and you can fly away, leaving your vehicle behind until you're ready to go back, get in the vehicle, and drive back to wherever you are bivouacking. So amazing technology, not necessarily something that you will actually be using on a daily basis, or if you're less than 100 millionaire, but really pretty cool stuff. And just so you have a sense for how big some of these booths are, this is the Samsung booth, which of course was all about AI. But where Samsung got really cool was with this animated display in the front of their booth. Check this out.
Rise and shine, Joe. Would you like to hear your daily brief? Yes, please. Today's temperature is 4 degrees lower than yesterday.
Think your TV's the biggest one on the block? This is the new Hisense 163-inch television, and it's gorgeous. Not to be outdone, Umax has a 100-inch AI TV, and what the AI is adding was a little hard to figure out, but hey, AI. I got so focused on AI that when I saw this salt and pepper shaker with a phone, I immediately thought there was an app and somehow it measured its output, but it's not. It's just a charging base and salt and pepper shaker. But speaking of charging bases, there's so much cute stuff at CES from little Chinese and Taiwanese and other Asian companies, and I thought this was really cute. Now, don't look at the guy in the hat who's glaring at me on the left, but look in this exhibit hall at how far back it goes and how many people there are. This was one of the smaller areas of CES. I talked about cute phone charging stands. There were also lots of cute phone cases and related products too, like these. Finally, a company called Martian Tech was demoing a keyboard and mouse design. That element on the top right that's circular is a mouse. Now, they're not shipping and these are not final designs, but wow, so cool looking. That was just a tiny subset of everything that I saw at CES 2025, and it's amazing. There's so much cool stuff happening. There are so many companies doing really innovative things, and there's also some stuff where it's just like, no one's gonna buy that. That doesn't even make sense. Why would you spend money to develop that? Sometimes that is just a function of companies thinking through and developing prototypes because the next iteration or the one after that or the one after that is actually going to be commercially viable. We see that in so many product categories like smart sunglasses and smart eyeglasses, where the first couple of generations, companies like Google were experimenting with this. They really weren't very useful, but as technology keeps moving forward and as we get new ingredients into that stew, they are getting to be more interesting. Are they like absolute make or break products yet? No, but keep watching that space. In fact, one of the things about going to CES, which stands for the Consumer Electronics Show, though the company prefers us just to use the acronym. So one of the things about going to CES is that you can sort of see the future at some level. There's things that are going to be important, things that are going to be really amazing technologies. Now, do I need a smart refrigerator? Probably not. Do I need a doorbell that recognizes the animals that are walking up to make sure that like the people are connected with their dogs? No, that doesn't even make sense. But you know, maybe a few iterations down the road that will indeed be really cool. So obviously, as you saw, one of the huge themes was AI. And right now it's a marketing trend and a fad. So everyone and their brother is adding AI to everything they possibly can. And honestly, a lot of times it doesn't really make sense. It's not really necessary, but let them keep working and iterating and experimenting and testing. And we, the consumers, ultimately are the ones that get to make the vote, because we can say, yes, that's really cool, I'll buy one, or no, I'm not going to spend an extra $8,000 on this thing because it has this one feature. Now, they'll keep iterating, just as we saw with smartphones and computers and televisions and all the technology that makes up our modern technological world. A lot of those started out pretty poorly designed and pretty badly implemented, and they just kept getting better. And now we just assume if I pick up my smartphone and I go to take a picture, it can figure out the focus, it can figure out the lighting, it can actually manage better than most digital SLRs or certainly most film cameras in low light or in high motion environments and such. So lots to consider here. There's been lots of media coverage. I encourage you to check out what everyone's been posting, because no one person can represent everything. I walked, I think, 40,000 steps while I was at the trade show. Yes, my feet are absolutely wiped, but I thought everything, and yet I actually noticed that from other people's coverage there were things that somehow I didn't quite catch. So it's just an enormous amount of information. I really hope that what I shared was interesting to you. Please leave a comment letting me know if it was stuff that actually piqued your interest, or whether you just thought they were just the dumbest technologies going. And as always, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Click or tap on that subscribe button, hit that bell icon for notifications, give me a thumbs up if you found this of value. Fantastic. That's everything I got from CES 2025. I am aiming to come back next year, which means I will again have to get in training for that much walking. It's pretty intense, actually. So I'll hope to catch you in my next video.